Hey friends, it's Rosalind. Welcome back to our gardens and our tiny farm. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 cut flowers that are so easy to grow from seed. They are great for beginner gardeners as well as the experienced gardener. If you're in a northern climate like I am, now is the time to get your seeds ordered before the seed companies sell out of the prettiest varieties. Or you might be in a southern garden and you can already be starting some of these from seed. So when we moved here 8 years ago, we started our first vegetable garden, and I knew that I wanted this garden surrounded by flowers. I was pregnant with our youngest, and I had 2 toddlers. I didn't have a whole lot of time to be doing gardening, but I knew that I wanted our vegetable garden surrounded by flowers that I could use in bouquets and just have blooming in the garden. So I bought these 5 varieties of cut flowers that first summer, and I had no idea what I was doing. I had never grown cut flowers from seed before, but I just followed the directions on the back of the packet and planted them into the garden. And we had the most beautiful flowers all summer long to use in vases and just to have in the garden. It drew in all the pollinators. So 8 years later, I am still growing these 5 basic cut flowers, and I am going to be sharing some of my favorite varieties with you today. So let's get started. The first one is zinnias. I used to think that I don't like zinnias because everyone I knew grew these bright colored flowers that they picked up at the garden center, but then I discovered there's some gorgeous varieties available that you can grow from seed. And so I often, when I go to plant my zinnias, I will just directly sow them into the garden after we're no longer expecting any frost, or you can start them indoors 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost date. So number 1 is Queenie Lime Red. This was a new one to me actually just last year, but it has this antiquish red color and it's gorgeous to add into bouquets. And a new one from Johnny's. This one is so pretty. It's called Ballerina Zinnia. It has soft, dreamy pink colors. I highly recommend this zinnia. Florette Flower Farm zinnias, oh my goodness, if you can get your hands on her zinnias, she has the most beautiful varieties available. I grew them last summer for the first time and I highly recommend them. Queenie Lime with Blush is another sweet antique colored zinnia that is delightful to add into bouquets. And this one is Isabellina Zinnia. And I think it's available from both Eden Brothers as well as Johnny's, if I'm not wrong. But it has a sweet, soft burst of buttery cream blooms that are so sweet, both in the garden and just to add into bouquets. Number 2 is sunflowers. I used to think that I don't like sunflowers just because of their bright yellow color until I discovered there's also some other colors available. Now, don't get me wrong, the yellow sunflowers are very pretty in late summer and early fall bouquet arrangements, but there's also some very pretty varieties available. So I will just direct seed my sunflower seeds into the garden, but you can also start them 4 weeks before your last frost date indoors. The first one is chocolate cherry sunflowers, and this is a multi-branching variety, which is great because as long as you keep cutting from it, it will continue giving you flowers up to a month. But this one stands 6 to 7 feet tall and it has lower pollen, which makes it great to use in cut flower arrangements. It's good for garden design and for cut flower arrangements. And the color is like a dark chocolate reddish color. The second one is Ruby Eclipse Sunflower, and I think this will be the 6th summer that I grow this flower. But everybody just oohs and ahs whenever it's used in cut flower arrangements. It's a branching variety again, and it has these bicolor blooms with ruby red and rose petals with a dark center. It makes a dramatic statement both in the garden and in a vase. Number 3 is Astra Rose Cream Sunflower. This was one that I found in Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. So if you're looking for a very unique sunflower, you don't have to look any further. It has quilled pale pink and cream petals. It's multi-branching again, but it only stands about 42 inches tall. And then the next one is a red hedge sunflower. This one has dark red flowers with long-lasting blooms. It's also pollenless, making it perfect to use in a vase, 48 to 58 inches tall. And the next one is buttercream sunflower. pale butter yellow flowers with a brown center. It's multi-branching, and again, it's why can't I say the word pollenless? Pollenless, making it a perfect cut flower. Again, it's only 48 to 58 inches tall. And last but not least is Sunrich Summer Province Sunflower. This one reminds me of your classic sunny sunflower. It has orange petals that surround a black disc. It only produces one flower per stem, but it's pollenless, making it perfect for fresh floral arrangements. The third one is marigolds. Now, I will only grow a few different varieties of marigolds to use in bouquets or just to have planted along the flower borders to draw in beneficial insects. But before I use marigolds in bouquets, I will strip off the foliage because the foliage will often start wilting before the actual flower does. The flowers can last up to 2 weeks in a vase, but the foliage will be wilting long before that. So just be mindful of that, to strip off your foliage and you will have a very long lasting bouquet. Now the first one, I'm going to pop the name up on the screen because I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But it's a white-headed marigold that is sure to amaze. It has 3-inch blooms, and they really stand out from your traditional gold, yellow, and bronze varieties. It's beautiful in bouquets. I had one bride that wanted to use them last summer in her wedding bouquets, so that was a lot of fun. Number 2 is Strawberry Blonde. Now, this is a beautiful variety that comes in shades of peach, pink, and yellow. It's only 8 to 10 inches tall, but it's perfect for containers or for flower borders. The bloom colors actually change with the weather. Number 3 is Cocoa Gold, and it has 3-inch fully double blooms, which makes a very pretty cut flower. It's fun to use for marigold garlands and use the petals to dress up your salads and desserts. Yes, marigold petals are edible. This one is 36 to 42 inches tall. Now this next flower, it doesn't have a very long vase life like marigolds do, but it's still a pretty and whimsical flower to use both in cut flower arrangements and just to have in the cottage garden, and it's cosmos. Cosmos are very easy to start from seed, either by directly sowing into your garden after your last frost date, or you can start them in a sunny window 4 weeks before your last frost, and both have very good results. I have only a few varieties that I will grow in the garden, and the first one is Apricot Lemonade. This one has dazzling apricot colored blooms. They're so sweet both in the garden and in cut flower arrangements. And number 2 is Cupcakes Blush. This is a very sweet flower that kind of resembles fluted cupcake wrappers. It does grow quite tall, 40 to 50 inches tall. And the third one is Double Click Mix. This is an unusual double blooming flower that has a range of colors. It makes a very pretty cut flower, and it grows 42 to 46 inches tall. Now for cosmos, both their foliage and their flowers are very pretty and whimsical to be using in bouquet arrangements. And they do usually grow quite tall, so they benefit from a bit of staking, or you can grow them up against a fence. The last one is Calendula. I will mostly grow this one to use in salves as well as just to draw in the beneficial insects. They do look very sweet though. Like if you just have a bunch of calendula flowers in a vase, it's very sweet. But their stems they're kind of sticky. So that's the only drawback about using them as a cut flower. The first one is Alpha Organic Calendula. It has this bright orange bloom that kind of resembles a small Gerber daisy flower. It has a high resin content for medicinal uses. And this is actually the only variety that I will grow for medicinal benefits. It has 2 to 3 inch blooms. And then the next one is Orange Flash. It has rose and copper hues. The blooms are a bit smaller, but with hints of peach and cream. And it's a very sweet flower to use in bouquets by itself and set it in the center of your table. The third one is Ivory Princess. It has 2 to 3 inch double and semi-double blooms. The creamy petals also have hints of gold with like a dark center disc. If you like a soft palette in your cut flowers, you will love this one. You will often find that calendula is used for wound healing or for skin health. It's great to use in teas or to garnish your dishes. And of course, it draws in all of the beneficial insects as well as some pollinators. And it's a very great beginner flower. Now, I do have a cut flower garden guide available if you're wanting to have some reading material to just learn a little bit more about these flowers or how to grow them. But the best thing I can tell you is all of these flowers, the more you cut from them, the more flowers they will give you from summer right up until the frost takes them. I hope this video has been helpful and gets you excited, whether you're a beginner gardener or you've been gardening for years. Thank you for being here, friends. I appreciate all of you. Have an amazing week, and I will see you right back here next Saturday. Bye.